Hello and welcome back to another puzzle video. I know it's been a long time, but this puzzle was worth breaking the silence for. We have a Marquise de Cat puzzle unlike any we featured on this channel before, and this was just too good not to share. So, let's get into the details. It is the autumn map. We are the Marquise de Cat, and this is from a Root Digital game submitted by MikeT. This popped up in the Woodland Warriors Discord back in June, and I just sort of have been mulling on this for a minute. So I figured I would share, and hope you enjoy. All right, let's puzzle. So it's the Marquise de Cat's turn, and taking a look around the map here, you can see that there are a lot of options in terms of wood. We have 5 sawmills built, which is pretty impressive. Means the last sawmill, the 5-point sawmill, is still left to build. Got plenty of building slots here, all over the place. So this should be an easy win, right? Well, let's take a stroll around the factions, because if it were this easy of a win, this obviously wouldn't be a puzzle. Starting with the Eyrie Dynasties, just turmoiled and are switching into commander. So as you can see, they just have their viziers in move and battle for the moment. They're 21 points. They have 3 roosts, so they're probably scoring around 3 to 5 points, depending on if they can craft, whatever. Not a threat to win the game. We have the Riverfolk Company sitting at 20 points, and they have 5 trade posts left to construct, which is worth 10 points, meaning that they are well within the window for victory. Take a look over here at their funds. They currently have 7. And if no one does anything, they're just going to get 2 more of their own, putting them at 9, meaning they will be just out of range to go for a trade post victory. But that said, let's take a closer look at their hand here. We do have Favor of the Rabbits and 2 swords. Oh no. Let's take a look at the board here. Favor of the Rabbits, not going to hit that very hard, but here we've got 3 points of cardboard. 4 points, 5 points. So it's going to be a 5-point favor if nothing about the board changes. And that's going to be probably enough to secure it. Not to mention, the Eyrie controls both fox clearings. So ostensibly they could drop 2 trade posts for 4 points, do a favor of the rabbits for up to 5 points. And then I think have enough left. Yeah, just enough left to craft the sword and reach 31. So, yeah, if we don't do anything, the Riverfolk will just easily win. Okay, then we've got the Vagabond, taking a bunch of damage, just chilling in this rabbit clearing. As you can see, they have coalitioned with the cat. So Vagabond is on our team, but that being said, there doesn't seem to be a lot they can do. Alright, back to the cats. Now, just to kind of elucidate the point of this puzzle, I figured let's run through the kind of plow ahead scenario where you just focus on your own engine, score as many points as possible, and then hope that the turn comes back around. So before we can do that, though, let's take a look at the hand. We do have a bird ambush, very nice. A favor of the mice, also nice. Scouting party, and a mouse dominance. Don't really see too much of a future in a mouse dominance play, and we definitely don't have the workshops to be able to craft favor of the mice, but that bird card is nice for the additional action. So, as if we were just going to do the most economic play, let's run through the turn. First of all, let's take a look at the Riverfolk's hand. They do have a bird card for sale. Their prices are 4 for everything across the board. We can just run back and show you that. Yeah, over in the right side here. Prices are 4 for everything. Do we want to buy anything? Sure, let's buy a bird card. Give them 4 meeples. Alright, so let's spend 2 bird cards for 2 additional actions. That means we're working with 5. Start by building the 5-point sawmill over here in this clearing. Very nice. And then we'll overwork once with a scouting party and build 3 workshops. How about that? Looking good over here. That's going to get us to 29 points. Overwork and 4 builds. Only going to get us to 29. I mean, the main issue is that this first workshop was doesn't get you any points. You build it for free. And yeah, kind of no matter what you do, if you're going to march and you're going to battle, there's really nowhere to battle that's going to get you more than just 1 point per battle. So this is the best the cats can do, is 29. Yikes. So if we pass it over to the Eyrie, they can add some cards to move and build. They actually do have 2 craftables here. Maybe they can take a move, take out the cardboard. That's going to get them to 29 as well. Next we get to the Riverfolk, who, working with our meeples, will have the easiest time in the world just crafting favor and running away with a victory. So the question is, how can we prevent an otter's victory? The reason I like this puzzle is it forces you to really, really kind of switch up your mindset around what to do with your turn as the cats. Like we've just shown, if you just go for the straight kind of economic play, the most greedy play, and kind of ignore your opponents at the table, this is a surefire way to guarantee their victory. So, you gotta switch up your mindset here, and I'm gonna give you a few seconds to pause the video and kind of contemplate your turn here. What's the best way to prevent an otter's victory and secure the win for the Marquise? Give you a few seconds there. All right, first question is going to be, do we want to buy a service from the otters? I hope you said no, because the answer is definitely no. No, the main point here is actually going to be more about area control and denial. So let's take a look around the board here. One thing I'm noticing is that if the Riverfolk can move around, they can spend their own funds to drop trade posts. And remember, they only need to drop trade posts in fox clearings so that they can craft favor of the rabbits and a sword and all as well. So there's actually 2 players that we need to focus on. We have to focus on the Riverfolk and we have to focus on the Eyrie. This is the real secret to this puzzle. So with our limited actions, we have to find a way to limit the Riverfolk's ability to drop trade posts in Eyrie clearings. If that wasn't strong enough of a hint for you, let's find out what the turn is from the cats. So action 1, we're going to march and take everyone out of these rabbit clearings, send them into the central fox clearing, into Texas. Action 2, we're going to march again. We're going to send 7 of those warriors over here. And you can see this really locks the Riverfolk in place. They can still move along the river without too much trouble, but accessing a fox clearing is going to be difficult. As you know, on the auto map, all fox clearings are located away from the river. So this actually just forces the Riverfolk to take additional actions in order to reach any kind of fox clearing. And that should be enough to prevent them from using their own meeples to drop a trade post easily. The second part of the second march is actually going to be to send the warriors from the top right over here to lock into the Eyrie and take rule from them. This actually just prevents the Riverfolk from using the Eyrie warriors to drop a fox trade post. So we're not only fighting against their crafting, but we're also fighting against their ability to score points off of the posts. All right, and that leaves 1 action left for daylight, and that's definitely going to be just to build the last sawmill for 5 points. Look at that. Just in further improving the control we have over this clearing with the Riverfolk. So there we go. Not even using this bird card. We can just march, build to create this kind of clamp on the position. All right. Well, that's it. That's the end of the cat's turn. Can they actually make it all the way back around? Let's see. Go to the Eyrie Dynasties. Did not have, in this case, I didn't really know what the Eyrie Dynasties had in their hand. I knew that they could do some crafting, but I didn't know what suits of cards they had left over. So I just went ahead and made kind of a dummy decree here. Added 2 cards, 1 to build, 1 to move. They craft a sword and a boot for 2 points. And here we go. We got the wild move and the rabbit move. They're kind of just exiting these this rabbit clearing and headed in here just to destroy a point of cardboard. They're going to drop a roost and score 3 points for all the roosts, plus 1 for this cardboard, thus scoring 4, bringing them to 27. And I did see a screenshot from the game, and at the end of the Eyrie's turn, the Eyrie were at 27. So this is fairly accurate to what happened in the real game. Okay, so then moving on to the Otters. This is the real big turn that we were concerned about. Let's see if they can do it. They gain 2 Riverfolk funds and collect everything together. They're working with 9 on their turn. First things first, they are going to just drop some trade posts. 1 in a fox, 1 in a mouse for 4 points, using those Eyrie warriors. Next, they're going to craft Favor of the Rabbits, and let's see. Yeah, they're just wiping things out. They score 3 points, hit the Vagabond for 3 damage. They've got 2 funds left, and my idea here is that they probably would try and slow down the cats as much as possible, either by battling in this clearing, but I just figured that they would want to throw the weight of the otter ball around and just kind of stifle the ability for the cats to build. So, just taking 2 moves here and preparing to drop a trade post on their next turn to craft for the win. Alright. So there we go. That puts the Otters at 27. Again, I think this is pretty accurate to the game. And as you can see, this setup really didn't leave the Otters with much leeway on their turn. I mean, they really only had these 2 funds to spend to do something. I mean, they could draw cards. They obviously can't craft anything. I don't think anything they could have done would have got them across the finish line, right? Even if they top decked the coins to put them at 30, they wouldn't have had enough funds to craft the coins. So that they're just right under the threshold. And that's it. That's all they can do on their turn. I mean, this is a little bit annoying, just kind of hitting this choke point here, but not anything the cats can't overcome. Over to the Vagabond's turn. Vagabond is heavily damaged and is just going to head into the forest to recover. Now it's back to the cats. And look at this. We've got tons of wood to work with. Just going to do a quick march. Send some guys into this clearing. Now they rule. So the wood is all connected. No problems at all. And there we go. I'm just going to build the sawmill for 5 points. And that's it. Cats win. I really love this puzzle because you are forced to look at the board in a different way than you ordinarily would in a root game. Also, it forces you to kind of calculate out what would happen if you were just to strictly go for the most economic play. Realize that that's insufficient, and then kind of use your creativity to find a way to stop 2 of your opponents from winning the game. If you were able to solve this at home, congratulations, this is a real tough one. But I hope that all the puzzles in the Marquise series have got you to a point where you are so comfortable with this faction that you at least had a good chance of solving this one. And yeah, Vagabond is very happy about this outcome too, after winning on Coalition. So, bringing them with you, even though they did nothing. Classic Vagabond. Alright, so coming up in the near future, we do have the Winter Tournament. For more details, go check the Woodland Warriors Discord. Signups are closed for the time being. However, all games will be streamed on Garrick Samples' Twitch channel and will eventually appear on YouTube here. I'm going to be participating in the tournament, playing games. Also, I'm going to be casting a few games with my good friend Murder She Wrote. And until next time, I'll see you all around the woodland.